not even so much winning a bodybuilding show, but just finishing it and getting on that stage, presenting your hard work, hearing everyone in the audience clap and go crazy. Like nothing really is better than that.
And speaking of, different divisions and stuff, what is your opinion of classic physique overall? Because I know you're an open class bodybuilder, so obviously you're a fan of the biggest, the freakiest guys. But what about classic physique? What do you like that division overall? Like, do you like watching it? Is it something that you would encourage other people? If you had a kid, would you want your kid to do classic or open, or would it matter? Or would you say don't bodybuild? What is your feeling overall?
I love classic. I think it's an excellent division, and I think it's getting more intense year after year. I don't think it'll ever overpower open, but I think it could get really close, especially with the direction that it's going. And as far as if I had a kid, I mean, genetically, he probably wouldn't be classic.
Good point.
But again, like I would never push bodybuilding on my child, but if that was the direction he wanted to take, I would make sure he understands exactly what he's getting into and help him stay as safe as possible.
And bodybuilding, it doesn't get the attention it deserves. It's been a popular sport for decades. Like, is there anything that you think that we could do to make it more mainstream? Like, I mean, to me, golf, they're winning $10 million. They're all millionaires. What is it that we're not doing in bodybuilding? Because how many people don't go to the gym and work out? It's such a popular thing. Millions of people in every country do it, but yet they're not getting the money, the recognition. Is there something that we need to do, perhaps as bodybuilders, that could change that, like that make it more popular and go mainstream?
It's hard to tell. I think we get frowned upon because of what it entails, and that's why it's not a mainstream thing. But honestly, I kind of like it that it's not 100% mainstream, because we're like the outcasts. We're a different breed, and we probably just have as much fans, if not more, than open sports that are mainstream. But I really don't think there's much we can do. I would love to see us back on the TV again. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, when I was growing up and I was competing in the natural federations, they used to show all my shows on TV. I'd be in the bar drinking and be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm on the screen." And so I thought, like, this is like 20 plus years ago. I was on TSN, different shows like around here, like, and then it kind of fell away. And now with the UFC, they have those shows where they show people like the Ultimate Fighter and they just fight each other and they kind of show their lives. I feel like what's missing is that we don't know enough about the life of people. Like, you're doing a show and you're showing some stuff on your YouTube channel, but a lot of people don't do that. I think that if they showed you and another guy and say all the Olympia competitors and showed you training and dieting and all this stuff leading up to the event, and it was some kind of a big show, people would all want to see that, because you would see what do they have to go through, what are the tortures they're doing to their bodies to make sure that they get to this stage level. I think that would be a really good show to watch. And I think with shows and TV, that's where things become more popular.
Oh, I think so. I think even like do like a mini Netflix series. I think something like that would be very creative. Yeah, I mean, I would watch that, honestly.
Yeah, because like look at Pumping Iron. Like until Pumping Iron came out like ages ago, was bodybuilding really known? This is just one movie, really, and then all of a sudden it became a lot more popular.
Yeah, and that's actually one of my favorite movies.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of people say, competing bodybuilder, it's all about the money, compete for money. Like Cali Muscle, it's all like, I'm watching the show, he's like, yeah, money, couldn't get this money. But the reality is, I think there's maybe 10, 15 bodybuilders that literally make a living from just like, you're probably one of them, that make a living from actually bodybuilding, like the prize money. For the most part though, if they took out all the money from the show, so you go to the Olympia, you get third place and your prize money is zero, like literally, would you still do the show? Would you still compete? You still like love it so much that you're doing it for the fun and then you could make money elsewhere? Or is it at this point, it's just a job for me?
I would probably still do it because I love training. That's how this all started. I think you have to have a passion for just training before you want to compete. But I also love competing. So yeah, obviously I would have to have, a full-time job, but I would still compete. You know, I'm very competitive. I love, you know, competitive sports. And if I'm good at something, getting paid or not, I would still thoroughly enjoy doing it.
And so when people say you're competing for that plastic trophy, it's just all for a plastic trophy. When you're an amateur, what would you say to that? Like, obviously it's more than just the trophy. You're not competing at the USA's to get sixth just for a trophy. Like, what more is it to you?
I think when a lot of people compete, whether they're competing competitively or for themselves, most people have the mindset of doing it for themselves. Like they want to see if they can accomplish it. Because as we know, competing is hard. Dieting is hard. Doing that shit for 20 weeks is hard. So if someone who was, you know, overweight, they just wanted to do the show because they can't stick to a diet without a goal. Doing a show can help them keep that on track. And whether they look like shit or not on stage, they accomplish something. So I think for a lot of people, it's just more of an accomplishment, which I think is awesome. And, you know, people like us, yeah, it's still an accomplishment because, I mean, you get used to prep after prep after prep. But to just go through something like that and finish, get awarded for it, it's not about the trophy. It's about how you feel about what you just did and being awarded for it.
Yeah, I definitely think that that sense of accomplishment, that challenge, the dopamine that's released when you're on the stage and you get that trophy after that 3 or 4 months of diet, all that work you put in, the feeling that you get, it's addictive. Like I love competing so much. After I did my first show, it was such an exciting feeling being on the stage and doing that whole thing. I couldn't wait to do it again. And I pretty much did every single show after that. Like every time there was a show, I was entering the show every single year. People are probably getting bored of seeing me on the stage because every single year, year after year, I'm in there. I'm in every single show that I can find because I loved it that much.
Yeah, I played a lot of sports when I was younger. I won a lot of championships, whatever the case, but nothing gave me more of an self accomplishment than not even so much winning a bodybuilding show, but just finishing it and getting on that stage, presenting your hard work, hearing everyone in the audience clap and go crazy. Like nothing really is better than that.
Yeah. And it's to me not about winning. It's just about doing my best because once I turned pro, I knew that winning was never something that would ever happen again. I mean, I was lucky enough to get fourth in a pro show. That's the best I've ever done. As soon as I won and I knew that next level was up, I said, I'm never going to win, but I would still go in the competition and I'd be like, what's your goal? Top 10. Well, why are you bothering? Because I want to compete and do the best I can and improve and get top 10. 10th is winning. So like, the better you get, the more you need to accomplish to do well. So for example, if I went into the Mr. Olympia and got last place, I would probably be happier than you if you got third place because it's so far out of question that I could even do that it would be like, I can't believe I'm in the Olympia, but for you, you've already been there. And so third, maybe it's not a big deal. And once you've won, getting second, probably not so fun. Like imagine Chris Bumstead getting second next year. I would assume that he would feel like, oh, he would be really disappointed because after you've won it 3 times, you can't lose or it's not fun, I would assume.
Yeah, I agree. That's why even like I'm competitive no matter what. So like even my first Olympia, I got 5th. It's like you should be happy, but I was like, damn.
You're thinking, well, I probably could have been 1 space ahead, but are you thinking like I should have won? Or are you thinking, damn it, I didn't win, or it sucks, I can't win yet? Like, what are you thinking about that exactly?
I didn't expect to win. I have liked to been compared more to certain people and just have that opportunity because I do think I was ready for that. So that kind of bummed me out. But you know, at the same time, it's like you got 5th at your first Olympia, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to feel bad, but of course you hope for the best and you're trying to do as good as you can. But like, yeah, obviously you're getting 5th. You wanted 4th or 3rd or what have you, and you want the fair chance to compare yourself against everyone. Then you have all the exact photos and everything you need, and you can have the audience say. And honestly, when I finished a show, sometimes I wouldn't win, and I felt like I won, and I would say to my friends, like, "What did you think?" or your significant others, and as long as you looked your best and you tried and you could have the judges say one thing and your friends and family saying another, you oftentimes will see this person was robbed. And so the person that doesn't win, they can feel good in the fact that a lot of the audience felt that they won. So it's not all about winning. You know, you can get second and still come out and feel like you won.
I agree. Again, it's just I've there's shows that I've lost and everyone thought I should have won. And to me, that's also self-accomplishment. It's like you may have not won, but everyone else sees you as the winner. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt the same way. Sometimes, I mean, I'm thinking I would rather lose and have people think I should have won than won and have everyone say you didn't
more
deserve
hype. It gives a lot more hype behind your name for your next show.